All right, welcome. Hey, this is XCSR, Towson Student Radio, Visionary Collectives, and today we got a special guest here. We have Joycelyn. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
So this is a long-awaited show. I was supposed to have her on. She's supposed to be one of the first people on. Actually, that's funny because the thing was, I had actually interviewed her on a Zoom call over winter break.
Yeah, it was winter break.
Winter break. And so a lot of people don't know that, and she is a up and coming model here, in Towson University and in the Baltimore area, and so just shout out some of your platforms that they can follow you on or just get in touch with you.
Okay, well, my main platform would be Instagram.
Instagram?
Which is my name, Joycelyn, Joycelyn, and my last name, Ibronke. And then that's really much it. That's pretty.
All right. I want to get, started, man. Let's talk, man. So, mostly with your modeling career. So, can you tell us, how you got started into that industry? Industry.
So, my first modeling gig ever was actually a student photographer.
All right.
That was my first ever one. But I would say the one that really got me into this is what I want to do would be when I shot for okay, that's better. When you just turn it. When I shot for Lost Pieces in November of 2023. That was when I was this is actually something I would want to do. And we did 2 shoots for that. I don't think people know that. We did 2 shoots for it on 2 separate weekends. One was just on campus and the other was a location off campus. And the second one we did was when I was this is because the first one we did, I was kind of nervous still. I wasn't used to being in front of the camera. I didn't know how to pose. I didn't know whether to look at the camera sometimes or look away. So Faye, the owner of the brand, shout out Faye, he kind of would help me put your hands in your pockets or do this, don't look at the camera, look away. But the second one, I definitely knew what to do, and that was when I was modeling with somebody else that's been doing it for a long time. So I think that also kind of helped me realize, okay, this is what I want to do. But that's really how I got started, and I feel that was that's when everything took off for me.
And what year was this?
This was 2023 last year.
2023 last year.
Late last year.
And so was there any alternative motives, just getting into the the fashion industry and just modeling in general?
Automotives.
Were you trying to get anything out of this?
No. It was more a thing that, it sounds cliche, but I've always wanted to do it. But I was always so scared or nervous. I think I told you this before, I used to not know how to take pictures of myself.
Okay.
It sounds so weird as a model. I used to not know how to take pictures of myself. I never thought I could do it, but I feel last year I was really in the mode of getting to do everything I couldn't do. Everything I thought I couldn't do, I would just do it. Even sometimes without thought, I would just do it. Even in terms of skateboarding and stuff like that, I always thought I couldn't do it or I can't do it or oh no, it's too late for me. I literally just do it. That was I didn't have any I'm doing this for the money or I'm doing this for whatever. I just kind of did it because I want to do it. I've always wanted to do it, so I was okay, the time is now type thing,
So the time is now.
Yeah.
So would you say, for the audience listening, where can they check your pieces out? Some of the pictures that you have took in the past, for brands.
I would say on my Instagram primarily because that's where I really make sure it's my portfolio, my digital portfolio. That's where I make sure everything is there in terms of if anybody were to stumble on my Instagram page, they know okay, this is what she's done. She has experience in studio, she has experience in outdoor work, she has experience in indoor work, just so they know what I'm capable of. And then it's kind of like a resume, a little bit of a resume as a model. Your Instagram is kind of like a resume, and you can still show who you are through that platform, which is why I love Instagram.
So with resume building and portfolio, so does that matter in the fashion and modeling scene, especially with I guess how you present yourself?
It definitely does matter because there's things in-person auditions and stuff like that. So when you can't always attend those, me being a college student, I can't always be in DC or New York or in LA on a weekend. I have something to fall back on, which is my internet presence. Like, the way you present yourself on the internet is what is all people see. That's all people see. So you kind of want to make sure you put all your work on there and don't leave anything out thinking, oh no, this is like a bad shoe, I shouldn't put this on there. It's still like valuable. And that could be the thing that sets you apart from another model, or the thing that gets you the job, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or the thing that like makes them choose you. Because sometimes I feel like with models, we don't really see something that a scout would see.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you being a student, especially here at Towson University, so how have you, you know, kind of, well, first off, let's start off, you are in the Baltimore area. So exactly, I don't know if you had this thought process, you know, going into the modeling business, but you are in a, I wouldn't say, because Baltimore area for modeling is a little iffy. So was that a factor of, you know, when choosing a college?
Honestly, no, because when I was choosing a college, I wasn't into modeling. I was just choosing a college to choose a college.
All right.
And I feel like at the end of the day, all my decisions that I made were like a building piece to the puzzle. Because I wouldn't say Baltimore is like inherently bad for modeling, but it definitely is kind of harder. It's not New York, it's not LA at the end of the day, or like DC. So you have to really put in the work. And I feel like being in Baltimore has definitely taught me to, like, there's opportunities in front of you, but you have to do the work to get in those rooms, and you have to do the work to like be able to be confident enough to talk to the people that you need to talk to.
And so, how are you doing that? How are you? I wouldn't say that you're starting from the bottom, because low key you kind of are, because you know you're in a Baltimore area. You're not in a popular city, you know, such as DC or LA. So how are you essentially getting these gigs? If you are in those scenes right now?
I would say one way is just like doing research. Like, I feel like even just being on Instagram and being able to look up like, oh, Baltimore photographers, because there's a lot of, so there might not be a lot of like modeling companies in Baltimore, but one thing Baltimore does have a lot of is clothing brands and photographers. Okay. So when you put the two together, you kind of already have like a shoot, like off that. Like, for example,
so you need two artists, and then
you don't only need two artists, but it's like you have the tools you need, even though you don't have like
the brand.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like you kind of have what you need. You have to work with what you have. Basically.
Okay,
that's what I feel like. I work with what I have in terms of not being like near a modeling company or near a modeling agency. I still have to work with what I have at the end of the day, which is like the photographers that are near me, or like the clothing brands that are near me, stuff like that. All
right, that's fair. And so, with the collaboration of brands like Lost Pieces.us, and Infinity.Worldwide, so what motivated you to first get involved with these two brands? And yeah, let's start off with that.
So, funny enough, those two brands are brands that I genuinely liked. Like, I just liked the brands. Even not as a model, I just liked it for, like, being a customer. Like, I would buy their clothes. I feel like those two brands are brands where if I didn't model for them, I would have worn their clothes anyway. So, how it came about was, like, I literally reached out to both of the creators of the brands. Not at the same time, but, like, I reached out to Faye, and I was like, oh, yeah, I love your brand, dude. Like, I would love to model it if I could. He was like, oh, yeah, for sure. Like, we can get this going, like, ASAP. And I didn't know that it was, like, not that easy, but I didn't know that it was possible that it could go that way. Like, oh, I could just kind of say a remark, and then it would just happen. Like, oh, next weekend I'll have a shoot. And then Infinity.Worldwide, I had been trying to, like, track him down. Not track him down, but I have been trying to get in touch with him for the longest time. And it came to a point where I was, like, low-key about to give up. But then we were in line, actually, in the Chick-fil-A line. Right. And I saw him, and I took that opportunity. I was like, oh, like, I've been trying to I've been emailing him, I've been DMing him, I've been commenting, I've been like, oh, like, I love your brand, I want to model so bad. And he was like, oh, shoot, I don't check my stuff like that. So I was like, he was like, oh, yeah, for sure, like, we can get you on a shoot, like, ASAP. He was like, I'm actually dropping so-and-so, we can get you on it, like, as soon as possible. I was like, and then that just happened.
That's what's up, man. And so, with these two brands, how have they motivated you in a sense, or like, because especially, in the modeling world, or is it just it was like, all right, it was a gig and I did it and...
I would say, again, from the outside looking in as a customer, Infinity.Worldwide and then Lost Pieces, they already featured models that kind of look like me, like they were black and they were African. And I feel like that made me comfortable enough to even ask to model for those brands. Like, Infinity.Worldwide already had established models in their shoots before.
All right.
So I was kind of nervous in asking, like, oh, can I model? Because I was still, like, very new to, like, the game. But I think just, like, the owners being very, like, just personal and nice just helped all around.
For sure.
I love those two brands so much. And the owners of those brands, they're great.
All right. And they are Towson based,
Oh,
correct?
yeah, they're Towson based.
So Baltimore area, Towson based. Hey, shout out.
Shout out both of them.
Shout out LostPieces.us and Infinity.Worldwide.
Great people.
Also, I wanted to talk a little bit of your experience, especially on Towson's campus. I have seen and have heard that you were a model for the TU store, shot by Sarah Barnett, which I know her for. That's funny. I know exactly who that is. I've talked to her. I spoke to her before. Yes, great woman, phenomenal photographer. And so let's get back to the this. So what exactly? How did you get this gig first off with TU store?
So I actually saw a model called Email. And I almost without thought I applied. I didn't think I would get in, but I applied. And Sarah got back to me, and I sent like my digitals, which are just like plain pictures of you, like no makeup, really, no jewelry.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to have you. Please come down to the store and we can do your photo shoot." And that's just how it happened. It was very like not forced though, even though like I did the application and I was like filling out the form. It was like not forced. Like she's great. Sarah's so nice and personal. So, like, the whole shoot, it was just, like, very fun. Yeah.
What exactly goes on in these shoots? When you're, I guess, in the scene or in the shot, what exactly is going through your head, or what exactly is the environment?
You mean for all shoots or just the, like...
So, first we could go with that shoot in particular, and then we could go back, to the other two.
For the U-Store photo shoot, I was kind of already, like, a little more experienced, like, a little more polished, like... with anything, I feel like muscle memory and stuff like that, just knowing from experience what to do and what not to do, it kind of helped. So what was going through my mind when I'm like posing, I guess, is just like trying to get the best shot possible for the photographer. Like I'm very communicative with the photographer. Like, oh, tell me if something doesn't look right. Tell me if something's on my face, obviously. Tell me if like the clothing or what I'm wearing isn't being shown well. Like, for instance, when we were doing the U-Store photo shoot, the tags are still on some of the clothes, so I'd always be like, "Oh, Sarah, please make sure like the tag's
so
not in the."
You don't gotta buy it. It's just...
No. Like, please make sure the tag's not showing like on my armpit or something. Make sure it's not like peeking out, so we get the shots. Because you never want to like leave a photo shoot and the photographer didn't get what they wanted at the end of the day. Because then it's just like a waste, Yeah.
And so, are you incorporating, personal styles? Like, do they style you, or did you style yourself when in these shoots?
U-Store. Any shoots?
Any shoots in general.
Okay. I feel like it really does depend on what I'm modeling. So, for the U-Store, I wasn't told like what to wear, really. So I just came in what I thought would be best. I just came in like plain jeans and then some plain black shoes because the point wasn't really like, oh, what shoes does she got on, or like what brand jeans are those. It was mostly like modeling for Towson University's like apparel. So I tried to make that the focus, and I just came like, oh, is it okay if I wore these? And I was always open to like going back and changing, but she was like, oh no, that's fine. Like I was mainly modeling top pieces anyway, so we just kind of the base was actually good of what I was wearing, the jeans and then the Converse. But for shoots like Infinity.Worldwide, I was always told like kind of what vibe the shoot was, and I just went based off that. Like, oh, if I was having my skateboard in a shoot, then I would know to wear the shoes I actually skate for authenticity, and then just like plain black jeans or like cargos or whatever.
Okay.
Because then again, the focus was the top piece again. So yeah.
And so going back to personal style, because that's a huge factor I think in the modeling world. And so are you in a sense, just, I guess, bringing it out, because you and individually, because against many models, you have to have is it like not a power, but like a sense of
self.
Yes, actually, yes, sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
So are you, incorporating that inside your style? Like when you're going, let's say in your portfolio or, in the shoot, are you just like kind of bringing that side out of you, like,
When it comes to my portfolio, I feel like primarily right now, what's in my portfolio would be like test shoots that I do, which is just basically when I'm not modeling for a brand and I'm just in front of the camera as myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would say my style does come out in that way because I'm literally wearing what I want to wear, and the photographer's just like, oh, just come in something that's fly. And I'm just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just take that and I wear what I feel would look great and what I feel like wearing genuinely. So I think I do bring like a sense of self in terms of the test shoots, and I also bring a sense of self when I'm modeling for a brand. Like, I'm not gonna be like you said, I'm not about to be like a soldier just like in front of the camera. I'm generally gonna try to bring a sense of self on camera and still show up for the brand as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can still work for a brand but still obviously show who you are.
Right.
So yeah.
Hey, that's dope, man. That's dope. And so, can you, share a moment, when you had I guess a trial or tribulation, when trying to get these gigs or, trying to get into the right, I guess, pose for a photo shoot?
So you want the trials first or tribulation?
Hey, whatever's, you go first, man. It's just your show.
I feel like, okay, the trials in the modeling industry or like my modeling space in general is just being told no. But I don't really see it as a trial because in the industry you have to kind of have a hard shell and be okay with being told no. Mm. And there's been weeks that I've just been told no, either by like modeling companies based in like LA or UK. I've been told no.
Okay.
Or I've been told, oh, you're really not the like what we're looking for at the moment, but we still wish you well, and so stuff like that. You have to be okay with being told no. But I feel like the tribulations always like make up for the trials because there's genuinely been photographers that I didn't think I was ever going to be able to work with that I have. And I feel like just meeting those people and making connections and making memories with these people that I never thought I'd be able to like meet or be in the same room with is always going to be like a tribulation to me. And it's always going to trump me being told no yesterday because I'm here today. Being able to just be in front of the camera and have fun, listen to music, and just like relax with like people that genuinely want to see me win. That's always going to be like a tribulation to me.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know too much, about the modeling world especially, but is there a sense of, diversity and inclusion in it? Because, how people are incorporating different, like there's so many features, with the face and the body. Like, so have you been seeing any of that in that world, that, that realm?
I think definitely, like, when it comes to modeling, you kind of have to think outside of your bubble. So I try not to stay in my bubble of like, oh, the DMV. There's a lot of diversity in the DMV modeling industry, but in general, there's a lot of diversity like in the modeling industry as a whole. There's like different body types, there's different like skin types, there's different heights, there's different sizes, like it's just like different people in general. Like you literally walk outside, there's different people like everywhere.
Right.
So there is definitely like a sense of diversity, and I love that because it just encourages me that while I might be somebody's no today, I'm definitely going to be somebody's yes, like, and, like, even if it's, like, sooner rather than later or later rather than sooner, it's, like, okay at the end of the day because people are different and there's only one me. So it's
one
like,
me.
There's only one me. Like, there's only one. There's only one you.
Yeah.
Like, that's really crazy. Like,
yeah.
So it's always going to be, like, you might not be everybody's cup of tea, but at the end of the day, you're going to find the people who choose you. And you're not even going to think about the people that told you no at the end of the day. So it's like, yeah.
And so you've heard no's, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
And like, so, and how are you taking that, especially just being a student and just having all these stress factors?
Yeah, I feel like, so being a student sometimes does get me told no. Because
really?
Because being in the modeling industry, you have to be able to be very flexible and, like, people don't want to work with people that have to be like somewhere for an exam at like 10 a.m. in person. So like me being told no because of things in my life that I can't really change at the moment, I just know that it's okay because I'm not always going to be in school and I'm not always going to have like all these time constraints. But yeah, being told no, it doesn't really bother me because I'm not always being told no.
All right, I get that.
Like I'm not always being told no, and I feel like it's impossible to always be told no because somebody's gonna say yeah, like somebody's gonna say yes.
Yes,
and it's like you just have to keep putting yourself out there. You can't I can't be discouraged because I'm being told no by somebody, and then because I could be missing out on being told yes, but not or being okay with being told no. You just really have to again have a hard shell in the industry. And just try to remember your self-worth at the end of the day.
Self-worth, man.
No, like, for real, like, you can't, like, be like, oh, my God, this is even for me. Why am I being told no? It's like, okay. It's gonna be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I want to, talk about, because people don't know that you are in I guess you could say you're in the photography world and, creativity. And so, what kind of sparked your interest, in that realm?
Photography?
Yeah.
Well, photography has always been a thing that's been in my family.
Okay.
Whether it was like a little digicam that was being recorded for like baby showers and stuff when I was like 5, or like me always having to pose for pictures like on these professional cameras at like family reunions. Cameras were always something I was around. So when I was given a camera by my father, I just brought it to campus, and it's like that's how you consider it a photographer these days. It's just if you have a good eye for like how to set something up or how to make a person look away or look at the camera, and you know how to like frame it right and stuff like that, then you're a photographer.
And so, with photography, so I know that's a whole nother creativeness in its own. Mm-hmm. So how did that even come to, because you went from photography to the modeling world. Mm-hmm. So what kind of bridged that gap, or what kind of made these two come together for you?
I think one thing that made me realize, they aren't really that much. I mean, they're different. They're definitely different.
Yeah.
Being behind the camera, being in front of the camera is definitely two different things. But actually, my first ever, modeling shoot was because I was going to be shooting for Lost Pieces. I was going to be a photographer for that shoot. But I was also a model for that shoot. So I've been in shoots where I've been the photographer and the model. So I think that experience showed me that you can definitely bridge the gap, and it's not something that's outlandish or unheard of. Because you can be both, and you can be great at both. You just have to really know how to switch it up, and be great at delivering both. Because you don't want to wait.
I just want to say, people didn't know that actually she shot the pictures for Visionary Collectives. She's the one that got this started. A lot of people don't know
that. Yeah.
People don't even know that, man. Hey, she was the one that shot my, introduction photos. I'm sorry, I just had to give you, your props.
Thank you. No, but yeah, being a photographer and being a model, it definitely has its perks because, just little things being able to know, where to look at the camera. If I'm not looking directly at the lens, and I know to look up a little bit, maybe at the camera brand name or something, or away completely. I know what shots don't quite look right, or how to angle stuff like that, or even suggest if the photographer wants a type of shot, I'd kind of put myself in their shoes and be okay, what would I do if I was
I like that. I like that.
What would I do, or what would I try to do if I was the photographer? It's nothing overstepping my boundaries or being able to be oh, do you think we could try this, or do you think this would look right, and stuff like that.
This is pointers because you're both, so you know what to do.
Yeah, being able to know what to do is important.
And so, do you have any other, I guess you could say skills, other than photography and just modeling?
I feel obviously I do. But, I think a huge skill I'm kind of honing would be, skateboarding. I feel it's genuinely fun for me, and it's something that I definitely want to get. I was telling one of my friends the other day, I want to get as good as I can in this lifetime. With anything I do, but, skateboarding is, really, it pushes me because I started skateboarding, September of last year, too. And it's, being able to see yourself change and, genuinely get better at something with like modeling or photography or like skating and stuff like that,
right.
I feel like it's very important, and it can add to your self-worth, and it genuinely makes you want to like just be better all around. Like I want to pick up more hobbies and be good at other stuff, because I always thought, oh, I can't skateboard, oh, I can't do this, I can't go fast on a skateboard, oh, I can't model, I can't do this, I can't take pictures of people. But it's like I'm doing it right now. So it just inspires me to like pick up more stuff and do other things that are good for me at the end of the day.
So doing other things.
Yeah.
Just getting outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, just getting outside my comfort zone as much as possible.
You know, a lot of people don't speak about that as well, you know, getting outside your comfort zone. And so, you know, how has you know, Joyce, how have you got outside your comfort zone and still be comfortable with being uncomfortable?
Okay. That's a really good question. How have I'm not even gonna repeat. I feel like when it comes to your comfort zone, you kind of have to think about it like somewhere. It's like cool to be there when you genuinely want to be, or you don't feel like ready for something. But you should always try to like not make it a place to stay. Like don't try to set up camp there. You know what I'm saying? Like make it a place where you can like fall back on and be like, okay, like I'm not gonna do this yet, or I don't feel comfortable doing this yet. But you should always try to think about like the other side of being in your comfort zone, if that makes sense. Like don't try to set up camp in your comfort zone. Like always try to push the boundaries a little bit, but still keep yourself safe, obviously, and still, you know, mind if you're not ready. If you generally feel in your gut you're not ready for something, don't do it and stuff like that. Because I've generally been in situations like that where it's like, should I do this or should I take this step? But it's like, oh, I just want to be in my comfort zone right now. I just don't want to do this right yet. I don't want to do it yet. But like I feel like giving yourself grace and still saying it's okay for me to still be a beginner at this, and it's okay for me to still be a little bit nervous or scared is okay. Like, because at the end of the day, we're humans. Like you can't be pushing yourself all the time. It's okay to like have a little like nap in your comfort zone, but don't like stay asleep in there. You know what I'm saying?
Don't stay asleep. Don't stay asleep. And so, with, you know, modeling especially, is there a message that you're trying to put out? Like, I don't know if you can even say that, but what are you trying to, I guess, bring out when people see the photos that say for, okay, what's a brand that you really like right now that you would like to model for?
I would say Adidas.
So
I love Adidas.
So let's say Adidas, right? They contacted you right now and they was like, yo, come on Adidas. I want you to model a Adidas, you know, shirt, Adidas track. Oh, let's do Adidas tracksuit. Adidas tracksuit.
Okay.
What is your game plan when you're going into the shoot?
That's hard, cause like, okay, it's not hard. That's not a hard question. My game plan would be, I feel like if it's a brand that I genuinely love and have been loving for years, of course I'm gonna try to bring my A game. But like, I feel like in general, with modeling, you have to portray confidence. I feel like that's one of the first, because nobody wants to look at a shoot and be like, okay, this model looks like awkward. Nobody wants to look at a shoot, okay, this model looks like she don't know what she's doing. Confidence is like the first thing. So I feel like with Adidas, I would always, if I were to shoot with Adidas, my game plan would be just being confident, but also showing a sense of self, like we said before. That's always like what I'm trying to show, is confidence and sense of self, because I feel like that's how you inspire people, or that's how people look up to other models and be like, okay, she looks like she knows what she's doing.
Right.
She looks like she's confident in herself. She looks like she's comfortable. You want to look like you're comfortable. You don't want to look stiff. You know? Yeah.
And so have you had that moment, though, that, you know, with being stiff?
No, definitely. Like, no, I feel like my first few shoots, I don't even think I have the pictures to this day. Like, because it was like my first shoot, the student shoot I talked to you about. It was my first one. I was definitely stiff. I didn't know really anything about modeling, or like how to pose again, or like how to just like work with other models, like how to be okay with this person like holding my shoulder like this. I didn't know how to be okay with stuff like that. So while I'm saying you don't want to look stiff, I've looked stiff before. Everything I'm saying that you don't want to do, I've done before. Like, disclaimer, like I've done it before. That's kind of like trial and error with it. Like, I've done it before. But it's like, you kind of want to be able to learn. Like, I always look back on shoots I've done, and I analyze them, like, I'm not, like, looking, oh, that pimple on my face, oh, my God, no. I'm, like, generally looking, like, and thinking about, was I comfortable in this moment? What's something I could do to improve? Because you always want to make sure, again, that the photographer has the shots they want, and they're, like, genuinely okay with it. But, yeah, there's been moments where I've been stiff and, like, been hella, like, oh, just shy. But it's, like, I don't want to stay that way. I want to get better, you know?
With getting better, so what kind of pointers would you give out to just the audience in general, you know, the visionaries in the community right now? So let's say, I'm going to put myself, you know, I had my first photo shoot for, you know,
I saw that.
Another visionary I had that on, Vision Ave. So, you know, me being, this is my first time modeling, what pointers would you give out for me personally to, you know, I guess elevate my look, in a sense?
Elevate your look.
For modeling.
That's a good question because I used to ask myself the same thing, like, what can I do to elevate my look? And I feel like if there's something that you always wanted to do that you're kind of like, I don't know, like, I think you're saying in terms of, like, just your look and, like, your general look.
Well,
or, like, your...
looks and how I'm posing, you know, well, especially posing. Like, if I did a motion where I had my hand on, so how can I fix that? Or how can I, you know, with lighting or with my glasses or how, you know, just enlighten me.
I think in general with poses, literally just try to act as natural as possible. Don't try to, like, make it like, oh, now I'm posing and I'm doing this. Like, generally try to, like, be calm and in the moment and, like, let your body flow. Like, because it's going to show if you're just, like, instead of just being, like, you know, like, that's not a good example, but, like, just genuinely let your body flow and be comfortable. That's why I feel like when you're doing a photo shoot, if whoever's in the room is making it, like, a good place to be off camera, that's going to show in the shoots. Like, if there's music playing, if there's good people around you, if it's good energy, it's going to show. So I feel like in terms of, like, your look, like I was saying before, there's generally something you've been wanting to do, but you've been like, I don't know. Like, for example, I wear glasses, but I got contacts. And I feel like that's when I kind of saw a change in, like, the jobs I was getting. Like, people were way more like, okay, like, now we can see your actual face. And it's like I've always wanted to, like, not wear glasses, so I got contacts. And it's, like, something it's a hurdle I had to, like, get over because I wasn't always comfortable, like, touching my eye just, like, every day, like, in and out. But I think me getting contacts really did help me elevate my look and just, like, taking care of yourself because, like, drink water, like, exercise, like, genuinely take care of yourself off camera so you can look your best on camera is, like, of course, a pointer. Just take care of yourself.
I also... Before I want to go on break, but I do want to, but when we get back, I want to go on, you know, skincare. Okay. That'll be another pointer. So we are about to go on break. This is XCSR, Towson Student Radio. This is Visionary Collectives. I'll see y'all in 1 or 2 minutes. All right, welcome back. This is XCSR, Towson Student Radio, Visionary Collectives. And we are back with Joycelyn. And so I want to go on a segment, especially for the people out there that are trying to get into the modeling world or just photography in itself, with skincare. I think this is a big pointer that a lot of people don't, especially for men. Men out there, they don't know skincare. Okay. They just kind of follow what their girlfriend or their woman is.
Homegirl.
Yeah, or their homegirl is just doing. So, with you, Joyce, what exactly goes into your skincare and how are you implementing that? And how is it, you know, showcased when you are in a shoot? Like how, you know, let's start with that.
Okay. Can I look in the camera?
Yeah.
My biggest skincare tip is to drink water. I'm not even, it sounds so cliche, but like water, bro, water is like the best thing you can give your body, bro. And it shows in your skin. Like, what you do daily shows in your skin. So, I feel like for my skincare, personally, I use like Walmart products. I use like CeraVe and Cetaphil. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
And I use sunscreen, of course. Sunscreen is so important.
Sunscreen. I don't use sunscreen, so.
Use sunscrreen.
No, I don't.
No, I'm telling you, use sunscreen. Like, sunscreen is important. Like, especially now it's about to get hot. Like, it's about to be 83 this Sunday. But wear sunscreen, drink water, and I feel like I said, I think off screen, or when we were recording, people think like models have this intense skincare. I personally do not. Has it elevated since I started modeling? It's pretty much stayed the same. I didn't always have like clear skin.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously struggled with like acne and stuff like that. But I feel like finding the products that work for you and generally doing research and trying to figure out like, okay, why isn't this working, or why is this good for somebody else and not for me? Figuring out why you're breaking out is important too. Just like take care of yourself, because it's gonna show in your skin. And I personally always wanted to do like a skincare like shoot, or like, so if CeraVe or Cetaphil's comes across this, I'd love to partner with them.
Mm.
But yeah, I just use like regular products, but drinking water is important.
And so, with facial features, because I know that's very important in the, not the fashion, the modeling industry.
Mm-hmm.
How do you personally, so what is your best feature you would say on your face right now?
My best feature, I would say my eyes.
And so how do you kind of use that? How do
I use that? I would say like, I feel like posing isn't only with the body. You can also like kind of get your face to pose in a way, or like how you like position your face, or how you look away from the camera, or like turn your head and you look. You can really like make yourself, like you can make certain features stand out more than others, depending on like your angles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if a photographer knows what features they like on you, they're gonna accentuate those. Like they're gonna make those stand out more. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would say my eyes. Yeah.
Your eyes.
Yeah.
And so, this kind of ties in with the skincare. So how can someone find what their best feature is?
Well, for me personally, I feel like I said before, I used to wear glasses, so you can still see my eyes in my glasses, and I've done shoots with my glasses before, but I'm realizing that I was kind of more confident without my glasses, and I feel like that's when my eyes started to like stand out more, and that's when I started to get more, like your eyes, like they're really like shaped really nice, or like I like the shape of them, I like how like they complement your face and stuff like that. But for people trying to find their best facial feature, honestly, I don't really know what to say. I would say, like, first, don't take what everybody's telling you, like, oh, like, your eyebrows are too thick or your eyebrows are too this. Because your eyebrows being too thick or too anything, or your face being too this or too that, could be what the modeling industry wants. Like, they don't want NPC-looking people. Like, they want, like, people that are unique, or people you don't really see every day. Because those features that you think that you don't like, or you don't really like pay attention to, are what people
like the most,
or what normal people don't have. Like for instance, I have like beauty marks kind of like all over my face and my body. So, and I feel like that's not something I really see a lot. And like things like freckles and like vitiligo, like those are what the modeling industry wants. Like,
but why though?
But why? I feel like it's, again, diversity and just...
You think it's a trend?
I don't think it's a trend. I think it's more like... I think it was a trend at one point. But I don't think it is now. I think it's just like, again, pinpointing the differences in these people. Like, this is what makes this person different, and that's why they work for our brand. Like, there's like a shoot that could work for your skin, and you think your skin is like bad. Like, no, your skin's not bad. You just have to... You haven't heard that is what people want. So I don't think, like... I think the key is to just keep an open mind and try to, like, envision yourself being told, like, oh my god, like, girl, your freckles are beautiful. Because freckles and stuff like that and things that seem very, like, not normal and stuff like that, that's literally what the beauty is in people, I think. Because I used to be ashamed of my beauty marks, and I used to think, oh, my eyes are, like, really small. People will comment on my eyes. I think my nose is too big. No, like, this is what people want to see, and this is what makes you different from the next person. So I think, like, just being able to see the beauty in that is important.
So how can me as a man market myself into one of these companies that, you know, so like let's say I have a beard or I have glasses or I'm black. Like how can I market that or how can I market myself to show, I guess, these brands what I have to offer?
I think just genuinely being confident in your sense of self again. Like, I always present myself as a Nigerian model. Like, I'm very, like, open about who I am. It's, like, not a debate who I am. It's not, like, up for grabs. Like, I tell people who I am.
But how are they supposed to know that, though? If you're Nigerian, they can't just assume that you're Nigerian.
Yeah, that's why you tell them. That's why you literally market yourself and you say, this is who I am. And, again, it's not up for debate. Like, I'm telling you who I am, so there's no question about it. And this is what I'm bringing. This is, like, my face, this is my body, this is my height, this is my that. And it's not up for grabs. Like, you're telling people who they are, and if they don't want it or they do want it, then that's on them. And it has nothing, it's not a reflection of you. And just being very firm in who you are is important. And just being, like, if things, like, are in question, like, oh, could you take off your glasses? If you want to take off your glasses, you take them off. If you don't, you don't. You say, oh, like, I wear glasses, this is my prescription, stuff like that. Are you comfortable wearing contacts? If you're not comfortable wearing contacts, say that. If you are, then don't. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, stuff like that. Just being firm in who you are. Yeah.
And I know that, you know, this is not a big factor for everybody, but, you know, the money. I want to, you know, just get that out there. So I don't know exactly, but I know that models don't earn a, I guess, high wage, especially in this economy now. So how are you battling with that? Like,
I feel like I said before, I never really did it for the money. But one thing I'm never going to do is overextend myself and then not get anything in return. There's been shoots I've done where I've been gifted things like clothes and stuff like that. And it's never something I'm personally after. Like, I'm not doing this because I want, like, a free hoodie or a free shirt. If I get it, it's nice. And, I truly appreciate it. But I think knowing that there's people out there making a living off modeling and stuff like that, it's good to know. Like, there's different forms of modeling. International models tend to make a lot. Like, when they have to travel to the UK from the US and things are paid for.
Transportation?
Things are, like, lodging and stuff like that. Just for, like, 2 days of work. It's nice, but it's, like, again, that's not really what I'm after. I feel like where I'm at right now, I'm still trying to gain as much experience as possible and still try to, like, for me, I feel like one of my main goals, and what I've been saying throughout the interview, is to make sure the photographer gets the best shots they want. And I feel like what's very important to me is making sure that I'm portraying whatever the photographer wants to be portrayed on camera as best as I can. Because I'm still getting something out of it. I'm still learning. I'm still here doing something I didn't think I was going to be doing. And I feel like with the genuine, like, good intentions I have behind that, the money will come. Like, everything else will come later. So I'm not really worried about it.
But low-key, you should be worried about it, though. If you think about it, with wages, like, how are you going to, you know, support a living? How are you going to get these products for your skincare to that Walmart, man? How are you going to, like, are you going to have side businesses? Are you going to, I don't know, try new ventures out? Because gigs, I know that gigs are not just thrown at you, like, left and right. Those come and go. So what will support you in the long run? Or,
I think, again, being able to not overextend myself and also start to form, like, think about it as a business. Because modeling is something I like to do and it's something I'm gaining experience in, but, like, also setting it up as a business. And, again, like I said before, being firm in who I am, being firm in my standards, and, like, I'm not going to work over this amount of hours if I'm not getting this. I'm not going to do this if I'm not getting that. And stuff like that. And just being able to be like, okay, I'm here for you and I'm here to give you the shots you want, but also making sure I'm taken care of at the end of the day. Make sure I'm not walking out of there with like nothing but like photos, you know what I'm saying?
So taking care of yourself. So how are you taking care of yourself? You know, mentally.
Oh yeah. Oh, I feel like I said before, being told no. Also, you have to be okay with saying no sometimes. If you feel like, or if I feel like I'm doing like a Monday, Tuesday shoot, and then I'm being asked to do a Thursday one, and I really am just like not there, like I'm really tired, or I just don't want to, or something is in the way and I really can't make it work, then I'm okay with being honest and being like, okay, I really can't fit it in this week, can we do something else? And generally taking time off when I feel like I need to, or I feel like I'm pouring. You don't ever want to feel like you're pouring into people when you're not really pouring into yourself. Because then again, it's going to show. And it's not going to be something that people are going to pick up on if you don't, explain. And I feel like having support, like genuine people that support you, no matter if you're doing your shoot or like work isn't really like there, just having people that genuinely love you for you and not because you're a model is important. Like, that's genuinely important, because you don't only want to have people in your corner because they value you because you're a model. That's like, no, that's not genuine. You want to have genuine people in your life that will be able to say like, oh, like, we love this thing you did, like, oh, you're gonna like take some time off because we've noticed you've been feeling tired and stuff like that. Just having people to like in your corner, and also being able to be okay with being told no and like saying no. Like, don't try to like make it a bad thing if you're being told no. Like, just understand that. Keep yourself grounded, basically. Like, keeping yourself grounded is very important.
So how do you keep yourself grounded but also being competitive, because this is a competitive market?
Yeah. I feel like, again, for me, I tend to like take breaks when I genuinely like feel like, okay, I'm like burnt out. But also making sure I'm doing things like sending my portfolio. I feel like sending things like my portfolio and like just basically like a synopsis of who I am, it doesn't really take that much out of me. Like, I have drafts of stuff written up that I could just like send. And I'm always answering emails. I'm always like making sure my phone is like not off all the time, stuff like that. But still making sure I'm not really doing anything active right now, but I'm still doing like behind the scenes to set up for what I might be doing the next day, if that makes sense. So just making sure like there's balance. Yeah. It's important.
And so what is your 10-year goal, especially just in general, like?
Oh, 10-year goal?
Or 5-year goal, or?
I would say my 5-year goal or 10-year goal is to definitely Runway. Like, I feel like
that's
that's like one word.
Runaway.
I feel like not runaway, but like just be on a runway. I feel like I've been told no, you can't be on a runway because you're either too short or like stuff like that. But I think if I can beat the odds and be on a run, I know I will in like 5 to 10 years. Like, I know I will. Like, I'm gonna make it happen. But it's like just being able to look back and be like, okay, this person said this wouldn't happen and now I'm doing it is very important. But 10-year, I feel like a billboard. I feel like nothing's impossible to me right now. Nothing's impossible to me. And I feel like having that spirit is very important, because if it's for you, it's going to manifest in your life. So I feel like I came from thinking things were impossible, like things I would never do, like I said. But I'm literally doing everything I said I wouldn't be able to do. So that shows me that nothing is impossible. But yeah, billboard and runway would be really nice.
So, especially with the runway, what is your steps to building up to that right now?
I would say, of course, taking videos on my walk and sending, again, my portfolio to, like, runway services and, like, people that are in those rooms already, making sure that, they know at least my name is important, because, or just, like, sending, like, my Instagram to, like, or Instagram posts to different, like, people, just, like, even though I might not be getting told anything or, like, I'm hearing no's, still sending it out is important, because if you just, like, say, this person said I'm too short, so I'm not going to send it to anybody, that's not going to get you anywhere. But if you at least try to send, or people see that you genuinely want to be a part of something, they'll give you a chance. Like,
Mm.
I've seen it manifest in my own life, where I've been given chances because I'm either really excited about it, or it's a genuine want. Like, they see the genuine want in me to do it, and they see that I'd be a good asset or good addition to something, then I get it. Stuff like that.
So being an asset, so would you say you're a team player, you know, going into these shoots? Because I know that there's different roles that need to be used for different shots.
Yeah. I think I am a team player in terms of, like, whenever I'm on a set or a shoot, I never try to say, like, oh, I'm a model, so, like, I shouldn't lift a finger. I'm always offering to, like, help with, like, lighting, assist, or, like, I'm always saying, if there's anything I can do, please let me know, because I just don't want to be, like, just, like, waiting to stand there and pose. I want to help. Like, if there's obviously, like, we're short on people, I'll be like, okay, do you need me to, like, set this up? Do you need me to, whatever you need me to do. I'm always a team player, because at the end of the day, nothing's going to get done if you just sit there and wait to be set up. Like, you kind of want to get things moving, too, because this is also your time. And just, like, being kind to people. Like, don't think that, oh, just because you're a model, you have to act a certain way. Like, no. Nobody wants to work with somebody that's, like, terrible to work with. So I think being able to just have basic manners is important, too. Just be a team player. Because it's not really, I feel like people think, oh, being a team player in the industry is not going to get you anywhere. You're going to get stepped on. It's like, you have to, at the end of the day, you have to kind of be a team player at the beginning to show your individuality. Like, okay, if I'm literally just being myself at the shoot and I'm being kind towards people and I'm helping out, that's what people are going to remember, and that's what they're going to be like, okay, she's a delight to work with, so let's have her again. That's what I'm always saying. So it's like, there's nothing, it doesn't cost anything to be kind.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So I also want to talk about color scheme. So would you say I wouldn't say you're a professional on color scheme, but it's when going to shots, have you seen there's like a scheme of like exactly like what they're wearing or how they're dressing themselves?
Like models?
Sure.
Yeah, I think I feel like all those factors come into play whenever you're on a photo shoot, because you don't want to have like be wearing something crazy with
well,
crazy
especially
background.
with tones, like color tones, like, you know, people's skin.
Okay,
so
yeah.
is there like, if I'm wearing all right, let's do you right now. So you're wearing a navy blue, what do you call this? A denim jacket?
Denim jacket.
So would this fit a darker skin tone or a lighter skin tone? Like,
yeah, I would.
Are those some of the factors that are going into when you're going to see these line of businesses, especially with modeling?
Okay, so I feel like my skin tone, it's never been an issue for a shoot at all. I feel like the photographer's always been to my, like, who I am, because I'm always gonna show up like as myself, and it's like, I did a shoot where I was wearing a very colorful button up, and then everything else was all black, and the shoot came out perfectly. Like, I was still myself, and I still looked like myself. It wasn't a matter of being like me being toned down or like, and even like the Towson photo shoot we did for Sarah, even though we were outside, I still looked like myself and stuff like that. So I don't think color scheme has ever been an issue for me, because the photographer always has an eye for stuff like that, and always back me up and make sure that I look good, because you don't want to look crazy and stuff like that. So yeah.
And so what would be your one piece of advice for anybody that wants to get into the modeling, photography, school, if that, whatever? What would be your one piece of advice to them?
Going into the modeling industry, I feel like you have to have a strong sense of self-confidence and just know who you are, because I feel like the industry, they'll ask a lot of you, either to wear something or like do something at a photo shoot, and you just have to know yourself. Be like, okay, is this something